A disability is something that has a major impact on your life.
Every disability is different.
And it's never the same thing for two people. I am blind in my right eye totally and partially sighted in my left eye.
I was 18 years old. We were traveling way too fast on a gravel road. Broke my neck, my back.
My Asperger's syndrome and my cerebral palsy.
I have anxiety and depression. People would have no idea just talking to me.
Being independent means different things to different people.
I want to live in my own house. I want to pay my own bills.
Live independently and not rely on other people.
When someone is not able to live as independently as they can, it does have a detrimental effect on people's physical and mental well-being.
It's no complicated thing. It's just that people with disabilities want to be included.
Plenty of people get stuck in ruts when they feel like they can't overcome something in their life. That's where LIFTT comes in.
Living independently for today and tomorrow. LIFTT. We help people of all ages and all types of disabilities find the resources or acquire the skills to live as independently as possible.
We serve the southeastern 18 counties here at the Billings office. We have a variety of things that we offer. We can help with grant funding for adaptive equipment.
Maybe a home modification so they're able to access their home. We help people to find that funding.
Helping people apply for Social Security benefits.
Medicaid, Medicare, housing.
They have a peer support group. Peer support, I think, is key.
Sharing life experiences is one of the most powerful things to help people who might be new to disability, who might be struggling with their disability.
Youth transitions is kids that are transitioning out of high school. They need to learn those adulting skills. It might be rent an apartment, learn how to grocery shop, budgeting.
Help someone advocate for themselves in a school or an employment setting. One of our biggest strengths is providing folks with information and referral. If we can't help you, we hope to know who can.
A lot of times we'll have a potential consumer call in and they think that they just have one need, and it turns out that we end up finding 3 or 4 things we can actually do for them.
You can just come in and say, hey, I feel like I have this going on. Can you help me? And we can, which is so cool to me. I love that.
Most of us on staff at LIFTT have identified ourselves as having one or more disabilities. That is helpful in many cases.
It's easier to empathize with someone when you yourself have struggled with a disability.
This is what we specialize in. This is who we are, and this is what we do.
And it costs nothing to go to LIFTT. It's a nonprofit organization and they're there to help.
Somebody that was a consumer that was working with LIFTT was asked to do an art project. He visualized that the balloon helps to lift people up. And then it became the logo, and it's stuck.
There's been success on all kinds of levels.
It's really rewarding to have a consumer go, hey, I was able to do this by myself today.
We want people to live their best life as independent as possible.
Live as everyone else in society and live as a part of society, not apart from society.
Everybody needs help. Sometimes you just need a little more help, and that's okay. That's absolutely okay.
There's plenty of life to live still, and there's a way you can do it. Keep chipping away at it, little by little by little.
Knowledge is power. Let's share it, for crying out loud.
Send us an email, give us a call. We'll do our best to help.
We can definitely help figure out what your needs are and get started on that. We're one of many steps in the path to independence, and we're happy to be serving people here in the community.
Good day and welcome to Living Well in Montana. Living Well is a program of living independently for today and tomorrow, or LIFTT, L-I-F-T-T as we often call ourselves. LIFTT is what is known as a Center for Independent Living. We are a nonprofit source of information, resources, and advocacy for the independence of people with all types of disabilities at any age across our 18-county service area in southeast and south central Montana. For more information about LIFTT, I encourage you to please visit our website at liftt.org, or coming soon, we hope, will be an update to our mobile app for the Apple and Google app stores. Search LIFTT there. My name is Jed Barton, and it is my privilege to be a public relations specialist at LIFTT and the host of today's show. As part of our ongoing work to meet the needs of the community, as well as spread the word about our organization and help to strengthen and diversify our finances, LIFTT often, from time to time, embarks on new programming and services. It is just such an initiative that we are here to talk about today. LIFTT is on the verge of opening a thrift store that we have called UpLIFTT Thrift. And here to talk about that today are our thrift store manager, Emily Lentz, and Tina Carter, whose day job is the coordinator of our rural transportation project, but Tina has some special knowledge that she'll share a little bit about with us that has made her invaluable on this project. Welcome, Emily and Tina.
Thank you.
So, Emily, let's sort of start with the basics. Where is the store going to be? When is it going to open?
So the store is going to be at 1201 Grand Avenue. It's a great location as far as for people that are just, in the mood to do some thrift shopping. Right. Great time of year to open. And we will be concentrating on raising money for LIFTT and the community through this thrift store.
Okay. It's awesome. 1201 Grand was for almost exactly 11 years LIFTT's Billings office. And so the space you're unpacking, I've seen some pictures that I think you've unpacked stuff in at least 2 different spots where my desk once was. So yeah, and again, we still have the lease to that space, so we've decided to use it for this. So like I said, Emily, do we have a planned opening date yet?
We are shooting for April 7th, is the ideal opening date for us right now, and then we would like to do a grand opening celebration, which is to be determined.
Okay.
But yeah, it's that April 7th is what we're going for.
Sort of what is it they call it in the retail business? A
soft opening. Yep.
And so do we have hours?
So hours will probably be like a 10 to 5.
Okay. And right now it's you and one of our...
And then I have this sweet gal that helps me there. Her name is Kelly. And then, of course, Tina's been there helping, and she's invaluable, so...
So how does... And maybe this is a good place for you to jump in, Tina, with your experience. How do you put together a thrift store? I mean, where do you find the stuff that you start with?
Okay. First of all, you find your place, and 1201 Grand is a perfect place for this new thrift store. Then you have to find things to fill the thrift store. Since LIFTT is a nonprofit organization, we accept donations. So far, we Well, LIFTT has been greatly given fantastic donations. There's some wonderful pieces of furniture in there. It's really exciting to see it get up and running. So once we are open, LIFTT will take donations. They'll have certain hours to take donations, but we'll only be taking donations of furniture and household items. At this time, we are not taking any clothing. We're going to concentrate on household and the furniture items. And I would like to say, it seems funny with my title as transportation coordinator, you know, why am I here with doing the thrift store segment? I am from Glendive, and I work for LIFTT in Glendive, and I used to be the director for the Boys and Girls Club, and we were looking for sustainable income. So I actually opened a thrift store there. It was called Second Chance Furniture, and that did really well. Unfortunately, the Boys and Girls Club did not last, and it has closed down. But after that, I realized there was a need, you know, in Glendive for secondhand furniture. So I opened a nonprofit, Neighbors Helping Neighbors Furniture, and we just started with donations. The community was wonderful. It is a good way to, you know, make sustainable income, but it is a lot of work. At that location, the building beside us, they had a fire, ruined our building, so then I moved to another location. So I have experience in the startup of a thrift store, the running it. Glendive and Billings are two separate areas as far as, you know, the number of people. So we're just trying to figure out our pricing and stuff now as we go. And we know once the customers start coming in, we'll get a feel of who our shoppers will be, well, who Emily's shoppers will be. And then, you know, we can adjust pricing as we go.
Okay. And you mentioned household items. Does that include, when I go into a thrift store, I always look at two things, golf clubs and books. Will we accept those kind of items as well?
Yes, so we would, you go right ahead.
So yes, we'll be accepting all kinds of household items, tools, you know, electronics, furniture, sportswear, and
sporting equipment.
Sporting equipment, yes.
Yeah, sportswear is clothing.
Yes.
Yes, so not sportswear, but sporting equipment, you know, antiques, vintage. We've got some really nice vintage furniture already that will be there for people to check out for opening.
Okay, like, for example.
For example, we have a lovely Seven Seas vintage
Hooker brand.
Hooker brand. What would you call that? Buffet? Credenza. There you go.
Yes. Okay.
Absolutely beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Okay, that's neat. Okay,
so for right now, though, we will not be taking any clothing.
Right.
Towels and bedding, we are not equipped to clean it for resale or for sales.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll you know, bring us everything from your garage
and right now, as you're getting sorted out for opening, we're not accepting donations at this time, or?
We are accepting donations at this time. We don't have donation hours, though. So if you have donations for UpLIFTT Thrift, you can call the LIFTT office and schedule an appointment, and we will be happy to meet you and accept those donations.
Yeah, and our number just came up on the screen here. It's 406-259-5181. You can also reach us through our website at lift.org/contact if you have a donation, and we'll get a hold of you.
Yeah.
So, again, you've mentioned having experience in Glendive, and again, that's sort of the genesis of this, is that, I mean, we were talking about it sort of in a meeting one day, and the next day
it happened.
It happened, which, again, in 15 years of working at LIFTT, that's not always what happens. So again, it's very interesting. Again, I have no background in retail.
To me, it's exciting. You go into this empty place,
right,
and you say, okay, we're going to do a thrift store. Next thing you know, donations come in. It starts filling up. It just looks fantastic. It's just so exciting to see something, get up and running that you have started. And I told Emily this is going to be her baby, and I can't wait to see what she does with it, because, it can grow as big as you want it to grow.
Mm-hmm. And that's a very good point. And maybe in the future there's opportunities for us. Again, some of our core services as an organization include skills training particularly for youth and who are transitioning and whatnot. And so I would think that, and again, somebody smarter than me will have to figure out the details, but I would think there would be some opportunities to use the store as a training vehicle.
Absolutely, yep.
Okay.
And we've had a couple people already volunteer their time just to come in and help move furniture. And
yeah, we're always looking for volunteers at LIFTT. So,
yes.
again,
At the furniture store, at LIFTT,
right.
there's always volunteer opportunities available if you've got a little bit of time or a lot of time.
Yep. So, being somewhat familiar with the space you're moving into, will there be, again, we sort of took over two different storefronts there back in 2011. One was a congressional office and one was a computer store. And so is the store largely going where the computer store was? That's the big, what we called the community room?
Yes.
Okay, so largely in there. And okay, that makes sense because that office area, it's a very narrow hallway, if I remember correctly. And so,
and it is ADA accessible.
Yes, it is. Again, if we're going to use, I'll talk about that off camera. So yeah, it is one level, which is good. And,
yes.
Pretty good accessibility for the site. Again, it was home to LIFTT for 11 years.
And Emily's doing really well with where she's putting her furniture, so anybody in a wheelchair, walker will be able to maneuver around in the entire store. Yeah, that
was one of the things I was going to ask about, is that I've been through many different parts of the ADA guides and rigs and stuff. I don't remember what it says about retail. And have you been able to consult ProAg or anything like that?
So I've been consulting with, of course, some of our people at the office on, what we need to make it handicapped accessible. And one of the biggest things that we talked about is making sure that people that come, if they're in a wheelchair, if they have a walker, can fit through any part of the store and be able to look at everything. And so that is something we've been concentrating on.
36-inch, just like a wider doorway, so 36 inches. So you just allow.
Yep. So widening some doors and positioning the items appropriately, and then making sure that we have, as much as possible, different ways of describing the items for folks who.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, in there now there's a lot of vintage parlor.
Okay.
Yes, that North Carolina. Parlor chairs, very nice chairs and benches. There's a 3-piece Paisley couch love seat, wingback chair set. There's chest of drawers, a couple china hutches, all kinds of little decor, Easter decorations. So I'm really excited to see this get up and open, and I do plan to come back on the 7th for the opening. I'm kind of excited about that, to see what response we get here in Billings. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Again, we'll have to get the word out, and that's part of what we're doing
And of course, I
here
sent you some pictures, but it was very important to
Yeah,
me when
and
setting up that we make it look like that makes people want to come in and sit down and have a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
You know?
the kind of furniture that you're talking about being a centerpiece of what we have, that makes perfect sense. Sort of. Okay. Emily, we've learned a little bit about Tina's background. Do you have a background in retail, or what is your?
I have, you know, and it's been several years, but I did some work with Goodwill and even the Montana Rescue Mission Bargain Center here.
Okay.
They let me come in and kind of take over their pricing, and then I moved to the delivery truck for a while, and so I got to go around on the delivery truck and pick up furniture, and I can tell you that some of that's heavier than others.
Yeah.
And Jed, we're both avid thrift store shoppers. So.
Yes.
Okay. That does help. You know.
Yes, it does.
You know your customers. Yeah, and it's.
And we know things that will get people excited. One of the things, and I think I sent you a picture of it, is Montgomery Ward sewing machines. And these are the older antique sewing machines with an actual Montgomery Ward instruction booklet.
Okay.
And it took me back, you know, because I remember Montgomery Wards when I was younger.
But this is
still open.
even older than when you were
Yeah,
young.
this
One of
is-
them there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't remember where you told me what the date was on.
It was like 1940s.
Yes.
Okay,
On
so-
that one, yes.
So.
Like, yeah.
But I was so excited when I found that instruction book and got to go through it.
And then we also have from the 1940s, you also have, it's from the 1940s. It's a steam press that they would use in the laundromats at that time.
Okay.
Yes, and it's something that you really don't see
Yeah,
everywhere. It would be a perfect piece in a museum, or if somebody just that collects antiques or vintage things,
So
they would love it.
Do we know? Was it in a dry cleaner here in Billings, or do we?
No, it came from an auction in Glendive.
Oh, okay. That's right, because a lot of our stuff did come from our friends in Glendive and our team there, and we thank them for that. But yeah, it's again, like so I don't go into thrift stores much. My dad kind of likes to go in and putter around, and it's amazing what you find. You know, my sister is a radiologist, and when she chose that as what she was going to specialize in at some point in medical school, my dad and I happened to be in the Rescue Mission bargain store not too long after that, or maybe right before she graduated med school and went off to residency. We found somebody had donated a poster from an American College of Radiologists meeting or committee or something, and so we found that, and my dad was able to frame it and give it to my sister.
Oh, how cool.
So you can always find
Yeah.
the perfect item that you didn't even know you were looking for in a thrift store.
Yep.
That's exactly it.
And some people asked, me, said, well, they already have plenty of thrift stores in Billings.
That was
I don't think there's plenty of thrift stores anywhere, because every one of them has such different items.
right.
That you have to, if you have time in Billings a day, Saturday, you need to just check out, thrift stores, do thrift stores shopping, but you need to start with UpLIFTT Thrift and then make your way around the city.
Yep.
Yep, and we're sort of right in the center of town.
Plenty of eating places around.
Yep. Right there, Albertsons is right across the road.
Right, the Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree.
It really is a great location.
All right, so sort of to wind back around here, April 7th will be a soft opening.
Yes.
And you anticipate the hours to be?
Expect the hours to be 10 to 5,
Okay.
Monday
and,
through Friday.
Monday through Friday, and you'll have your own eventually you'll have your own phone number over there and all that stuff. So if people want to get a hold of us, they don't need to get a hold of us up at Crawford Drive. They can get a hold of the store directly.
And she's in the process of doing a Facebook page
Yes.
for this,
Yeah.
for UpLIFTT Thrift.
Okay, that's good.
And as we get new items coming in, we'll be able to take pictures and post those on that page and
Right.
let people
And-
know
and-
when we
and
got
that's
new stuff.
part of the business now today, especially for your smaller stores,
Yes.
is moving merchandise online, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So that leads me to another question. Will we be set up to accept all those different kinds of payment they have now? I mean, will people be able to pay with their phones and stuff? Or?
Yes, we will. We should be set up by opening day to take like Google Pay, Apple Pay, debit card,
awesome.
cash,
Awesome.
any of that.
Awesome.
They just make it too easy to take your money anymore. Just walk by with your phone. Whoops.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. They do that. Well, Emily, thank you. Tina, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes,
Again,
thank you.
UpLIFTT, look for more information through LIFTT and then eventually sort of on its own about UpLIFTT Thrift. That'll be opening April 7th at 1201 Grand Avenue here in Billings. Thank you for tuning in to Living Well in Montana. Living Well in Montana is a program of living independently for today and tomorrow. We are a nonprofit advocacy and resource center for the aging and disabled in 18 eastern and south central Montana counties. My name is Jed Barton. Thank you and good day.